Election results for our 2024 South Carolina primary races are now in. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Higdon.
And I'm Justin Kolar. Tonight on your Live 5 News at 11, we're bringing you the election results across a variety of races, from congressional seats all the way down to sheriff's races. We are going to start, though, with the bid for the Congressional District 1 seat.
We will start off with that race for the Republican nominees. We had 3 people running: incumbent Nancy Mace, Catherine Templeton, and Bill Young.
The Associated Press has called the race in favor of incumbent candidate Mace.
She ended up snagging about 57% of the vote, while Templeton came out with 30%, and then Young totaled at 13%.
Now, our team has been following that District 1 race all throughout the evening here.
Our Anna Harris has been out at the watch party for Mace, and Anna breaks down how the incumbent candidate is responding to her primary win.
Well, it has been an incredibly lively night here since Representative Nancy Mace has declared her victory for the primary, and she says she is ready for November. Mace gave a shout out to the man behind one of her main endorsements, former President Donald Trump, adding that South Carolina will have his back come November.
Donald Trump, it's time to work together for a rock-solid military that nobody would dare test.
She says she works not for Washington, but for the people of South Carolina.
You want to see the real power? All you have to do is look in the mirror. You, the people, are the power. It's not in Washington. You hold it in the tip of your hand.
Mace says she plans to continue serving on the House Armed Services Committee, stay as chairman of the Cybersecurity Committee, and focus on women's issues if she wins in November.
We're going to continue to work hard as we always have across the low country, and voters will get a chance to decide for themselves in November.
Mace says she has the first flight out of Charleston tomorrow to head to D.C. to vote for the National Authorization Act. She says she has no time to waste to continue working for the people of the low country. On Daniel Island, Anna Harris, Live 5 News.
Now, Mace faced a tough competition from candidate Catherine Templeton.
Templeton was the former director of the Department of Health and Environmental Control. She also competed against Henry McMaster for the governor's office.
Caitlin Ashbaugh breaks down how Templeton's team is responding to tonight's results.
Congressional candidate Catherine Templeton will not appear on the November general election ballot after the AP called that race for incumbent Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Templeton rallied at the Creek Club to thank a room full of supporters. She says while the campaign was cut short, she considers her running time a success. During her campaign, Templeton focused on election integrity and what she claimed was corruption in countrywide legislation. She said in her speech tonight she'd like voters to support the Republican Party and presidential nominee. Templeton was up against incumbent Congresswoman Nancy Mace and Marine veteran Bill Young. Mace was at the front of those numbers as soon as the polls closed and votes were counted, maintaining a lead over Templeton by at least double.
The math right now says that we're not going to pull this off, and that's okay, because we're going to get behind the leaders of this country, and we're going to hold them accountable, and we're going to make sure that they represent our values every day.
Templeton declined an interview after her speech, but she did mention that she hopes her supporters will continue to support conservative leadership into the general elections in November. She says she also hopes that they will, quote, hold those leaders accountable. Reporting in Mount Pleasant, Caitlin Ashbaugh, Live 5 News.
Now, the third candidate on the Republican side, that was Bill Young.
He was a Marine veteran and ran on the grounds that the standard that we've been seeing in Washington is subpar. We caught up with him before the race was officially called, and this is what he had to say moving forward.
I look forward to not only holding her accountable to the shrimping industry, but our veterans as well and our military. So, Nancy Mace, if we don't get our numbers better when it comes to staffing at the VA and our ships don't start getting a better shipbuilding plan, Nancy, you can continue to see me coming out here holding you accountable.
Now, the Democratic race for the Congressional District 1 nominee has been called in favor of Michael B. Moore, but that race was a tight one.
That race was called with Moore at 52% of the vote and Mac DeFord at 48%. Moore will now move on to compete against Nancy Mace in November.
Our Destiny Kennedy has been following the District 1 Democratic race throughout the night.
And Destiny, what can you tell us about that race? It was close.
Michael B. Moore declared victory in this tightly fought primary race. Moore's campaign focused on several key issues, including protecting women's reproductive rights, promoting economic development through small businesses, and emphasized people over politics. Mac DeFord's campaign focused on similar issues, including increasing funds for public schools to improve education, enhancing access, and investing in local infrastructure to support economic development. After the race was called, DeFord addressed his supporters, thanking them for their dedication and hard work throughout his campaign. He highlighted the collaborative effort of his team and the importance of continuing to engage with the community on these critical issues.
As we look ahead to November, we know that the road will not be easy. The general election will be grueling, and we will face formidable challenges. We've already been impacted by a South Carolina General Assembly and a Supreme Court that did everything they could to steal this seat. But I'm confident that with the same spirit of determination and unity that brought us thus far, we will prevail.
So I want to extend again my congratulations to Michael, and I do pledge my support for him in the general election.
Again, Nancy Mace and Michael B. Moore will face off in the November election. Reporting live in Charleston, Destiny Kennedy, Live 5.